And but you were saying how pre-quarantine you've always wanted to stay indoors, and then finally
Not
being so
necessarily
long.
always stay indoors. It's just that I'd be outside like all day. That I just want to stay indoors after like school.
Oh, I see.
And then now, as I'm staying indoors all the time, I just want to stay outside.
No, yeah, that
But
makes
then, like,
sense.
yeah,
Because you finally know what to do with yourself indoors, and then it's that balance because now you know how to be productive inside with indoor activities, but you need that urge to go outdoors.
yeah,
And who are you, Fernando? Is it Fernando your guys' friend or?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. What's up?
What up, dude?
What's good? I'm down. Whatever you want to ask me, man.
Oh, I'm just flowing with the conversation. I saw the
Yeah.
title, and if you were here for a little
Okay.
while, I was explaining what I've been recently doing. Did you hear that bit?
Yeah. No, I heard it. It's pretty sick. I accept that. I think that's a pretty cool idea. Learning how to do better conversational skills with people is a better idea because everyone needs to fucking learn how to have good conversational skills now.
Yeah, bro. It's
Personally, because not a lot of people I know have good conversational skills, and it kind of sucks because at the end of the day, we're like humans for a reason. We build off of that, and I think if someone doesn't know the most essential thing that is what made us strive in fucking history, I think that's quite, I don't know, it's quite unfortunate. So, but I do understand it's a lot harder for a lot of people because maybe they didn't have the right influences when they were growing up. But that's actually really cool that you're like, spending your time to put it into, even with religion also, because you could be one of those like psycho Christians.
No, I know the stereotype.
Yeah, completely. And like, I went to a Christian school, and I met some really cool like Christian people that I like completely messed with. But then I've also met some people who are just like super indulged in their own religion that I think they neglect every other aspect of their life because of that religion.
Yep.
And I think that's something, because obviously too much is too much, and I think that's completely true with everything, even religion.
Exactly, man. And if you wanted to discuss that aspect just to shorthand, because religion can go into so much depth, and I know I think we want to take it more of a secular approach here, but to just dabble on that, you're absolutely right that when people get into an ideology, it becomes cult-like, and then it influences their whole life because they want to apply the principles and they don't know how to, so they're like an infant trying to learn how to be an adult so quickly. So that's why you have radical people, and regardless of any religion, being so fanatical. And fortunately, in my case, I've learned how to have an objective approach to be secular and practice my faith at the same time to have that healthy balance because fortunately being with the academic background of psychology, I know how to take this approach accordingly.
Yeah, no, I completely get you, and that's actually really it's a smart thing. I personally like to do that too with anything with religion because I feel like at the end of the day, if I need to talk to my friends about something or if I need to explain myself, and I can explain myself fully without anyone criticizing it, really. Because, like, I can bring up God if I want to, but in a way that no one will be like, oh, what the heck, like, just in a judgeful way. So it's like, I feel like...
Right, you're being empathized, and it's a safe space to be vulnerable.
Yeah, no, completely. I completely feel like this space to be vulnerable.
And so you've all known each other for a day, even Fernando?
Yeah, we've known each other for a minute. And I don't mind being vulnerable at all. You learn that when you go to therapy, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a pretty important part. people who aren't vulnerable, like the kids you see at high school who think they're like cool and stuff, they usually tend to just not really do a lot and have expectations on people who, they think either, oh, someone's always going to be able to show them attention. But in reality, when you go to college, no one gives really any shit about it. It's kind of trippy.
Yeah. Do you think what do you call the cool kids? Do you think the characteristic that they have is like feeling superior than others, and that actually inhibits them to actually have humility, to be good-natured human beings and just accept everyone?
Well, I've talked to some kids who I feel are generally more accepted with a lot of friend groups and people who just like mess with them a lot, and I kind of see that they have these like tendencies or expectations of like, what's a specific story? Like, I've met like kids like one kid went to this school and his name was no, I can't say his name if you're recording, but yeah, so I met this kid and he's a really, really smart kid. He can pass any test he wants to. Something that I feel like I would be like, fuck, like I would want to do really badly. But like talking to him, I feel like mentally, like how he was talking to me and how much he had to think about what he wanted to talk about, I felt like it was kind of exhausting. And, I felt like a lot of the things that he had to talk about with friends, like, because when you talk to someone for a long time, or if you talk to multiple people or a ton of people, it honestly becomes mentally exhausting. Like, I feel like it does. Like, I feel like talking to a lot of people at the same time, it kind of just like, it's like, Jesus Christ, you're like, you're just like, you're just like, I don't, it's just so much. Like, I feel like with everybody, there's like kind of like a boundary. Like, some people do like to be in like big groups, but like, I feel like, there's a point where it comes to too much. And so like, thinking about this kid, he's like, yeah, like, so like this happened and like, yeah, like this, and it was so funny, dude, like really funny. And it's just kind of like, it's just, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like something that I don't feel too envious that I don't have anymore. Like, I don't know, it just put me off on that. So I think there's just a lot of things that, for any guy right now or any girl, like, that, they shouldn't really care about, you can always strive to have like a trait that maybe someone has or motivate yourself because you interest in that trait. But if that trait doesn't really make you happy or then I feel like, and it's just something that you just have to work on your own traits. And people seem to think like a lot of kids have it better, but I feel like a lot of kids actually kind of have it worse, where everyone has their shit that they can't really handle, and we're all just, whoever can show their traits off the best are the ones who are going to persevere in life. And if people keep, putting themselves down, then sadly, like, it's like, you can't really put yourself down all the time and expect like greatness. Well, not in the sense like, you can't really put yourself down and be like, oh yeah, I don't know this, I don't know that, I just want to go through it and be a person in a cubicle all day and things like that. Like, I don't know. Like, if you want a job that doesn't make you feel so mentally taxing, you can't be the person to like. But it is a hard habit, and I've had that habit before, where I just like completely put myself down because I want to be or strive for a trait. Well, then, just kind of just do your own thing. That's what I look at it for, and it's cool. I fuck with it.
Do you all feel the same way too?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, but I haven't really thought about it, you know? Because, like, sometimes we just do it so naturally. You just don't.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Sometimes it gets to a point to where it just becomes autonomous. Like just do it without even realizing it, and then you don't think about it. And then sometimes there's times where you do, and then you be like, damn, like, why did I do that? Or you try to like force yourself to see something that like you know you're not, but then like it's like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Go ahead, man. Take your time.
Like because there are times where it's like you want to like bring like this one like aspect to you that you don't have, right?
Yeah.
And then you try to change yourself to where you do it, and then sometimes there's times where there's always times where there's like some things that you want to do where they're definitely not the right thing that you should do, right?
Yeah.
But like you don't think of that in the moment, and then say later that like this thing comes back, and then it like it stays on your mind, and it makes you feel like worse and worse about yourself. But then I've done that before, and I've self-improved myself a lot.
Yeah.
From where I previously was, and like it doesn't happen as much, but there are like still sometimes where it's like I do things that I know like I'm not, and I do it for a reason. Like it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really like affect me as much as it used to. So,
Yeah, it seems to me that you're starting to be aware of like your impulses
yeah.
and like resisting and having self-control.
Yeah, definitely that. It took a minute, bro.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anything else you guys want to... I mean, I can ask questions to keep going, but I mean, is there anything you guys personally want to discuss that's been something that you've been wanting to talk about? I don't know.
No, I'm fine.
What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I was just trying to think if there's anything, because like I used to have things, but like now a lot of it is pretty much cleared up, so I don't really have much.
Alright, okay. Just trying to get a better understanding of you guys, and you know.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff around me that like it took a minute for me to like become comfortable with, but like once I did, then it was all good. Like there's not really many questions that I like hold to myself anymore. We've let out a lot of them.
Yeah.
So.
I got a good question for all of you. What do you think manhood is?
That's a good question.
Honestly, just being true to yourself, and like I think like being a man, right?
Yeah, what does that mean to you? What is that?
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Manhood to me, I feel specifically, it kind of means, I think it's in a less like sexist term, but like, thinking of things like that your dad does and thinking of things that you see your dad do. So for me, I'm very lucky to see my dad be a businessman, own a business, be able to make connections in a fucking second. Go to First Bank, and I can go to First Bank after, and they're like, yeah, I met your dad. He's a really, like, you know, he's pretty funny guy. And, like, you know, everyone tells me about that. I think manhood to me means that I have the balls to do anything I want. And I feel like, you know, there's a time where I should feel confident. And like you said, impulse, on acting on your impulse. I think there's sometimes, you know, a lot of times in life that, you know, you just have to act on your impulse. Sometimes you really shouldn't, because maybe you might be wrong, and that's just a thing that happens. But there's just some things that you get a gut feeling that it should be on impulse. So I see my dad as someone that, you know, I respect. He's a very honest person. He's honest about any drug use he used to do. I know he smokes pot still. You know, I'm not a big fan of it, because I guess, like, at the end of the day, it's like I really feel like I shouldn't be like, oh, well, like, seeing my dad smoke pot, like, I feel like I shouldn't. But, you know, it's something that I don't really care about, because I guess it's not. I respect it for how it is, and I feel like maybe some people won't see it the same way, but I don't think anyone should trip up on it, really. Like, I don't know why anyone would, but to me it's just
social
less about more like, because a girl can do it too, like, or they have their own, like, womanhood or something. Yeah, no, it is a social norm completely, but I think when it comes to it, is literally just showing, you know, complete control, complete composure, and being able to strive for what you want completely, because you are persevering and going through good vibes. And that's the only thing it should be.
I don't know, man. But to me, I don't know if it's like different or not, but you know, I lived in like a very feminist, you know, home. I never got to like know my pops, right? He like dipped out when I was a kid, right? And like I would always, well, I don't really know, because I never had no dude to look up to. So I got the idea of what a man should be by like movies and like TV shows. That a man should be strong, confident, right? And the one thing I learned about manhood from myself and the experience of my parents is that a man should always take responsibility for his actions. And I don't know. I think that, you know, if you're gonna do something, and then there's always a cause and effect, you're gonna have to be responsible for those cause and effects. You know, and I don't know. Also, the idea of like a man should be, you know, confident, and like all that has really like tied into my personality now, because I've always tried to act confident and all that, and cocky, stuff like that. And it's just my natural thing now that I like, I guess, implement it in my daily life, you know.
And what's the differentiation to you, cockiness and confidence?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, confidence and cockiness are like very, very similar to me. Like, especially since I'm trying to work on not trying to be.
Well, 1 second, Anthony. Let me just tell. Hey, Fernando, bro. Do you mind muting your mic for a second? Because all the kitchen noises, bro.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
No worries. It's all good. Appreciate it. All right, go ahead, Anthony.
I don't know, I've always been having trouble with that kind of cockiness that I had, whether it's basketball, you know, or during tests. I always try to stay cocky or confident, just to, you know, be be masculine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I don't really know what's the difference between confidence and cockiness, because those two definitions just feels like the same definition but different word.
Right. They're like cousins, but you don't know the difference between
Exactly.
them.
Yeah.
I feel like confidence is really what you show, and cockiness is more like really what you say or tell. I guess.
I was gonna be
Because
like,
confidence, you don't really need to tell people. Like, you just radiate confidence. Cockiness, it's really like what you say that really makes you sound cocky, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like being confident or showing confidence is like believing in yourself and knowing that like you can do something, and like actually being able to like prove and back up what you're saying or what you're doing, right? But then I feel like cockiness on the other hand is like bragging or showing off to people. Yeah. Like when you don't actually like have those skills.
Exactly, yeah.
Or you can't like demonstrate them to other people.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? To share with my take why I asked that question. With manhood, I'll explain a little, but to just give my take on cockiness and confidence, as we grow up in life, when you do something completely new, you have no skill level in it. And then eventually you make some progress by experience. And the only way you make the progress is by being in the trenches, in that skill, that craft, whatever the endeavor is, right? And slowly you start to develop confidence. And I think confidence can be a noun, an adjective, a verb, because you're developing trust within yourself in a certain behavior, action, idea to take action into it. And eventually it'll be a part of you. And then you'll have the self-assurance to accomplish it. And when you have negative pressure or attention on you, because you have to rise to the challenge, if that's external or internal, And I think arrogance or cockiness is arrogance. But there's two ways you can only use arrogance. A fool that is arrogant is somebody who, as we both have all met in life, someone who is all bark and doesn't have the bite, as Damien said, that doesn't have the skill to back it up. But there is that arrogance of somebody who can be cocky, and it's a similar cousin to confidence, when they've practiced the skill and have the deserving right to be cocky because they put in what they've owned, and that's more in the ego sense. But they can only do that if they have the skill to back it up. But I only think it's better to have humility than use arrogance when it comes to demonstrating your skill, because you admire somebody who's not saying I'm better than you, but someone that says, hey, good game, GG or whatever. But you recognize he knows he's skilled, he's confident, but he can at least give you the same respect, That's my thoughts on it.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Right now, I'm working hard to become more of a humble person. I notice myself, like, during, playing basketball with my friends, I get very arrogant and cocky, and, like, sometimes I just do that sometimes as a joke, but I notice, like, doing that sometimes isn't cool, Maybe others might not like it, and rather than being arrogant and cocky, I feel like, working on my humbleness is not gonna not only make me as a better person, but the people around me like me more,
Exactly, bro. And to just touch on that subject, what's going on with my opinion, as being a human being, I've, gone through those experiences as anybody, with arrogance and confidence and feeling shy and timid or insecure and self-assured. The reason why we get into that arrogant state is because it does help us when we're being challenged negatively, like when the boys are, shitting on you and trying to pressure you to cave in, into your fear or get into your mind and being insecure. And so the ego makes you arrogant and say, no, I can, mess them up and show them who's boss and I'm skillful and be selfish and just focus all on me. And that's fine. That's fine. I mean, that does help on the short term. But the true state of feeling completely secure is feeling at peace in the moment and completely trusting yourself. And you can rise to the occasion and demonstrate your skill. But also be like, yo, like, it's all good. And like, I'm one of the boys. I'm chill. I have the humility to recognize my own skill and be like, it ain't no big deal. I rose above the pressure, but hey, let's have a good game, Because with that alone, it just demonstrates so much of your leadership and how much you see the benefit in others, because you can see that challenge and rise above it, and just use it to your own gain, but also know how they're helping you. With even if it might be from the wrong intention or right one, you always are in control of your emotions. So if you learn how to do that, it will help you a lot.
Yeah. I totally know what you mean about controlling the emotion part. Like sometimes you're just overwhelmed, and like during that moment you might spit out something that you might even regret later on, but like during the moment it just feels so great, whether you're being cocky or being confident. It just, to me, it felt so great just being that. But then later on,
it's healthy competition, my friend. It's all within us as men.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm very competitive, like you said, and stuff.
It's just about knowing to understand the balance between when of course you have to have those moments of ego and being driven to focus on yourself, and when you do those big plays, but also having the confidence to help out your team and the boys when you're playing a pickup game, and just being selfless to be with the team and have that humility to know it's not about you but everyone else as well, to help them with the skill, whether that's on playing basketball or in life or sharing wisdom or having a discussion on manhood.
Yeah.
It's because we're all trying to be better men at the end of the day. It's good that I see that you guys have a healthy backgrounds to discuss this stuff. That's pretty chill. It's been a while since I've discussed with people that have this, that are younger than me, because what I've only been exposed to is my own friend group recently, and what I see on the Yubo live, and so this is a refreshing perspective to see.
Oh, of course, man.
Yeah. We're not like, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that you see.
And with, I just want to touch on something that Fernando made a pretty good insight is, he had his father figure around, and how navigating that. Anthony, you were just discussing how you've were attempted to find your own manhood. So it's pretty interesting to see those two aspects of how, we have to find those characteristics. And in my own experience, I can relate to both of you, because I had my father around when I was younger, and then as adolescent age began, our relationship was strayed, and finally in young adulthood we repaired it. But being around my father and the life lessons and acknowledging what he's done wrong but also done right, I've recognized the ultimate characteristics of being a man is simultaneously like being in the feminine and masculine. And what I mean by that is like the ability to have leadership, to be vulnerable, to share your mistakes, as Damion said, and to have that accountability and self-responsibility, that when you make a mistake, you own it and embrace it, but also have the honesty and the courage to go push past your fears and have faith that you can by just risking it. And the risk is the attempt to go for what you want in life and create it. And that's what I think ultimately is the mark of a man. Yeah, took me a while to think about that in my own time. Just wanted to share for some clarity, you know.
Yeah.
Hey man, it was nice talking to you, but this is getting like super late.
No, yeah, if you guys gotta go, I mean, it was a good talk.
It was a good talk. You should add and then tell me when you're gonna post it. I'm very interested in your podcast.
Oh yeah, this one is it's just it's only 32 minutes. Usually I go for an hour.
Right.
So I think in this one it's going to be a private one because honestly, I save all the audio tapes, and usually if they're like 45 minutes or below, I kind of save them. But this is the first time I ran across a group of dudes that are just chilling and vibing and respect each other, and it's a really awesome dynamic to see. You know, you guys are very healthy in your masculinity, so it's pretty awesome to see that.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, just gotta acknowledge it because you're on your way in the right direction.
All right, man. Thank you for